Okay, so Lattice Putation asks, what are your lighting settings and why are your power poles and power lights so nice and glowy? Well, I'm going to answer the second part first. The glowy outlet is an amazing mod. I totally recommend it. I think it's the one and only. If you only get one mod, get this one. It will really just kind of eliminate a lot of frustration. Let's see if I can find it here. Where is it? All mods. Let's do installed. Structural. Where is it? There it is. All poles with indicator lights. It's such a simple idea, but you can see there's three different states that it'll show you. It'll show you here's a powered circuit. Here's a circuit that's not connected to anything. And here's a circuit that is connected to power but is currently switched off. Or there's some kind of an issue. That's it. It is the best little mod because so many times you could see, you could just kind of walk around and see, oh, wait a minute, there's a red outlet, something's going on. That happens to me all the time, and it's so useful. Now, the one thing, if this Andre Aquila ends up doing some changes to this, the one thing I would love to see is when you go into like the cable mode, like to connect a cable, let's say, that it shows you different colors for different circuits, kind of like for different sections on railways. That would be another really huge and useful thing that could be added to this all poles have lights mod. But anyway, so let's look at that in game and also talk a little bit about lighting settings. Let's see here. All right, so yeah, you can see here. Obviously, this is what it looks like in game. They're great. It's basically he just made a colored cylinder that he put on each one of the outlets, and it changes colors depending on what's going on. But it is really nice because you can see, and without the power, you don't have to have the hover pack on. The hover pack does kind of a similar thing. It shows you, you get power from it if it's got power, obviously. But when you're trying to diagnose power issues, it's super handy. Like I think I found some unconnected things out here when I was looking around the other day. Of course now I won't be able to find them, but yeah, it's just really nice when you combine that mod with signage around your circuits. I'm a big believer in actually putting in names for your circuits so you know what's what. Because early on, especially if you don't have, here's one. I know this is not being used because it's red, so I can just delete it. It's probably something I used a while ago, and then I just, stopped. It's so weird. I put up my menu and it goes really laggy. It might be because I'm recording. But yeah, so I highly recommend that. The other thing now with the lighting, there's a couple things I do. First of all, turn on lumen. I think the only drawback to it is performance, and you're gonna have some, you're gonna have some issues with certain areas are not gonna be automatically a decent level of lighting. So you want to put lighting on ultra. I think lumen. There's some options for that here somewhere. Where is it? Yeah, lighting mode. So this is global illumination. You want that on high, and then this is the lumen bit. You can see it set down there. Changes the mood in enclosed spaces with lumen. So it's really nice. I keep it on bright generally because if you don't have it on bright, then you're going to get spots that are going to be really dark, flat black shadows, and that means you have to add lights and whatever else to kind of do that. It's just you need to do more to make it look nice. Another thing I totally recommend is when you are putting up these types of lights, not the ones from signs, definitely crank down the level of illumination. I don't know if I have one I can show you here. I might have one up here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. I always, I'll go down as far as 15%. I also sort of do, if you go buy light bulbs, you'll see they have like soft white, natural light, and all this stuff. I kind of mimic a soft white for most things. And then for accent lights, I'll do a bright white, or I'll do kind of that colored light, just to sort of mix it up a little bit. This also helps to define spaces, right? It's like, this is just sort of accent light, this kind of cold greenish blue. But yes, so signs are really great too. If you want to really work on illumination and you don't want to have the performance hit, signs are your friend. These guys, the ones that actually project light cones, kind of see them if you look, I think. Yeah, maybe not. But these guys are expensive computationally, especially when you have multiple lights overlapping each other like this. But I can get away with it because, you know, they're isolated from each other, right? I have one there, one there, one there. You can see the light rays there. So those are overlapping. But I can get away with all these other lights here because they are panels, they're signs, right? So a combination of both is good, but definitely choose your battles with these guys. Like, have these guys light up large spaces and have as few as you need as possible. As an example, I showed you, you know, I was talking about the, going back to the lumen stuff here, video. So just to show you the differences, this is the bright setting. Now let's do moody bright, apply, yeah. Come on now, there we go. In some places it'll get a little bit too dark. It doesn't look that bad here. But yeah, you can see back here, it's getting a little muddy. You see that? Kind of like the shadows are all kind of crunched together. And then if you go to the setting one below that, it gets really dark. And it is, I mean, I guess it's an aesthetic choice. I would guess that they're gonna work on this a little bit because Lumen has become such a big. See, now you see it's really dark. It actually affects it much more when you have no light sources in a building, just like windows and whatever else. You can see here now we're almost at black with those slats on the walls. Let's go back to what we had. But yeah, so Lumen is definitely the way to go. But you will have a performance hit. That is without a doubt. Dark. Oh, let's try dark. This is probably gonna be really rough. Well, yeah, you know, it just tends to skew on really dark, opaque shadows, which I don't find particularly appealing. Let's go back to what we had. Where is it? Where'd she go? There you are. There we go. Bright. Yeah, so now you got a little bit of color definition to the slats here on the side, right? They were black before. Now they're kind of looking like their actual color. Just have a wider spectrum of shadows, which I like. Shadow colors, that is. So yeah, hope this helps. Signs are your friends for lights. The ones that you plug into power, they are very computationally expensive. Use them sparingly. And yeah, hope that helps.